Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922 here. Um, One Piece, episode 548. This one is, I guess you could say, a breath of fresh air. Because now we've gone through all the flashbacks, and now we're getting into the good stuff. Real good stuff. Horty Jones declaring I guess you can call it declaration, saying that he is now going to be the new leader of the Ruga Kingdom, and that he's going to, don't want to sugarcoat it, he's going to kill Neptune. He's going to execute him. Hate to call it, you killed the king. And proclaim himself the new king. And basically his reasoning is simple. He hates humans. And he's basically cutthroat. He's worse than Arlong. Arlong, at least, he wouldn't go out of his way to abuse and kill. Or at least I think so. Fishman, people of his own kind. But Horty Jones does want to do that. He will go out of his way to do that. And we see scenes of people stepping on the picture of Otohime. People getting really upset about it, and so on and so forth. And then wondering why, this person who was part of the army, he basically said to Neptune, I was sick to my stomach when I heard the plan what Otohime and you were planning. So he obviously just despises and hates the idea of living with humans. He just hates it. And basically that's his reasoning for killing the king and doing all the things that he's been doing. Now, that's the air conditioner. Let me shut this off. So, what ended on happening was, not only did he make that declaration, but he told the Straw Hat crew that, look here, and he basically shows that he has Zoro, Usopp, and Brook. Interesting thing was the whole thing when it caught them. Brook was playing dead to make them shrug off him. That way, when Zoro and Usopp did get caught and put in a cage, he would be able to break him out. But he ended up joking around with the guy, the people who are part of the New Fishman Pirates, and they got caught. So they're basically in this cage high above, really high, and they're pouring seawater into the room that they're in this cage. And he's telling the Straw Hat crew that, after I kill Neptune, these three will die as well. Because they'll die from drowning. And he shows off Luffy's wanted poster saying, that he's going to I suppose you could say he's going to defeat Luffy and get the reward, give or take. And it's like a declaration, a proclamation that he's throwing out there. Now, moving right along, what also happened in this episode was towards the end, and Luffy starts talking to Jinbei, and Jinbei's telling him, I'm going there, so on and so forth, and he says, Luffy-Kun, the famous Luffy-Kun thing. saying not for him to do it. And then we see Shirahoshi, and she's emotional wrecked. She starts crying and calling out, "Father, Father," Father's on. And she gets on Megalo, who's the shark, and she's going to head out. Right then and there. Head out right then and there to try to save her father. Now, obviously, this is upsetting Jinbei, so Jinbei tells the shark to stop. And the reason why, then Luffy comes out and says, "Oh, I'm gonna go there instead." And then he tells Sanji, "Take care of, the coward, Shirahoshi." And then Jinbei tells him to stop. And we have this confrontation because Jinbei doesn't, and I understand what Jinbei's saying. Jinbei's got a point. Because the truth of the matter is, if they were to go and confront Horty Jones, it would only, to some extent, dampen the situation. So instead, I think Jinbei says, "I'll go instead," but Luffy says they have my crew. They have 3 members of my crew. I'm going. And then we have this standoff, and everyone's calling Luffy's name, Nami, Sanji, Kami, Hachi. And we see Shirahoshi there, and she's looking nervous as they look back and forth. And then, as Jinbei's looking at Luffy, he realizes, of course, you're that man's brother. And this is where we left off. At the end, we got Luffy, Jinbei, about to fight each other, which should be interesting. I'm gonna give this up personally. I think I'm gonna give this one. Not sure. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 for now. 3.5 out of 5. The reason why? Because of next week's episode. Because we're going to get to see Jim. That is probably going to get a bigger rating. I like the tension between Luffy and Jinbei. I like that scene. It was kind of interesting. And it seems like even though Jinbei, I want to agree with Jinbei on this. But at the same time, I want to say to Jinbei, wait a minute. You might be right about this, Jinbei. But this is Luffy's crew. They've been captured. And they're supposedly going to be dead. So, gotta give some room here. You gotta at least try to allow Luffy to go in there and save his crew. Save Zoro and everyone else. So there's that air conditioner again. So that's the whole point. Now, I think I'm going to go. I'm 50-50 with this, but I think that Jinbei's motives are good, but you gotta give, But this was a good episode. I want to see some fights now. Now we're gonna get see some fights. I can't wait to see, the whole fights with the Straw Hats against the new Fisherman Pirates. That is gonna be fucking awesome. Awesome, man. But, yeah, that's the story. This has been Bonkai922. See you guys later. And, looks like I got, like, 2 more to do. 2 more reviews to do. 2 more reviews. So look forward to that. It's going to be Fate Zero. And, what was the other show? It's Fate Zero. Oh, and Fairy Tail. So, yeah. It's been Bonkai 92. See you guys later. Who gets the for the win? I'll go with Luffy. Luffy for the motherfucking win. See you guys later.